Hey, it's Arielle and Andrea from Inspirational Memoir Talks, and this is such a raw and necessary episode. We're naming something that so many people feel but rarely say out loud: the emotional fallout of life altering medical news and how often it's met with silence or dismissal.
So the news that changed everything, but no one asked how I felt. After my first blood clot, the doctors ran a bunch of tests to see if I had any kind of, clotting disorder or anything else that could explain why this happened. Despite comprehensive testing, including coagulation panels, genetic studies, and imaging, nothing was identified. At my follow up, the hematologist informed me that in the absence of any identifiable cause, we are still going to be on blood thinners for life. Awesome. So the explanation felt abrupt, incomplete. Many of my questions about resilience risk, like recurrence, monitoring strategy, potential triggers, they went unanswered. I felt the feeling of isolation, unsettled by the prospect of lifelong blood thinners without an explanation for why clots continue to form despite therapy. The doctor said it so plainly. You'll need to be on blood thinners for the rest of your life. I nodded. I didn't cry. I just left. And no one, not the doctor, not my friends, not my family, asked how I felt.
I'm so sorry you had to carry this alone. Your experience, fear, confusion, and the daily physical and emotional toll of injections deserve to be heard and understood.
Medical care often treats the body and overlooks the person. When I was told I need to be on blood thinners for life, I felt terrified and bewildered. I didn't just lose certainty about my health, I lost the sense that anyone could explain why this is happening to me. Giving myself fragment injections every day has been physically painful and emotionally draining. The sting of each dose, the bruising, and the growing scar tissue make every injection a reminder of how vulnerable I feel. I'm not a nurse. And the constant worry that I injected incorrectly adds to the anxiety. What helped me most was the knowing others understood that this isn't the only medical problem, but a mental and emotional one too. And if you're reading this and have been through something similar, you're not alone.
When I first went through psychosis, I was immediately judged. People thought that I was on drugs. Nurses actually told my parents where the drug pamphlets were for addicts. And when my mom said my daughter doesn't do drugs, the nurse said to her, "That's what all the parents think." I only tried weed a few times and I didn't like its effects. I didn't like how it felt. There's such a stigma around mental health. People think that either you're on drugs or you've been through some sort of trauma. I've lived a pretty normal ish life, if you call it normal, and I haven't been through any trauma. Like my family is was great growing up. Um, I was told during the psychosis that it was acute, and eventually they sent me home, and I ended up back in the hospital because it was not acute. It was long term, and I should have been sent home. Um, so eventually, after my psychosis started to dissipate, I went through severe depression. It took a while for me to actually become myself again, and eventually things got better. And I just stopped seeing a psychiatrist because he said, "Oh, you're better. We don't need to see you anymore." The unfortunate part is they did not educate me or provide a whole lot of information. They could have said, "There's a chance that you have bipolar disorder, so you should keep monitoring your mood and following up with your doctor." Unfortunately, I had to figure this out the hard way and on my own because when I was 7 months pregnant, I went through psychosis again. And that's when they finally diagnosed me with bipolar disorder.
That's sad. I feel bad that you had to go through that. I wish they would be better at telling us, what we should be doing. The most difficult aspect of living with condition has been the uncertainty. So each day brings new challenges, a persistent fear about what might happen next. I carefully manage my injections, adhere to a strict medication schedule, and try to prioritize sleep and hydration. Small tasks feel enormous under the weight of constant worry. When my doctor warned me that this could be life threatening, that fear became a daily reality. The limitations on what I can do are deeply frustrating and emotionally draining. Simple activities such as getting in and out of a car or driving and can be physically painful, mentally exhausting. To others may appear fine, but to which is harder for friends and family to understand why I can do things or I have to not be able to have plans. I have to move more slowly all of a sudden. And the lack of visible symptoms creates strain in relationships and leaves me feeling isolated. Living with an unpredictable condition affects not only my body, but my sense of security and connection. I want those around me to know that my needs may vary from day to day, and that compassion, patience, and clear communication make meaningful differences.
The uncertainty is the hardest part. If I'm feeling good, I worry that I'm too good and that I'll go into hypomania. And if I'm feeling low, I worry that I'll sink into a deep depression. Stress throws a whole curveball, and it's something that can be hard to avoid at times. Unfortunately, for me, stress really affects my mood. It increases my anxiety and typically throws me into hypomania over time. It's very stressful, it's very confusing, and frustrating.
I think it's important to learn how to talk to someone who is battling any illness. Some of the empathetic responses that help me are, I hear how heavy this is for you. I'm here to listen, no pressure and no judgment. I want to sit with you and support you however I can. You don't have to carry this alone. If you want, we can talk and, take it one step at a time together. It makes sense that you'd feel scared and overwhelmed. Those feelings are valid and important to me. Things that people could say like on a one-on-one or sounds really hard. If you want to talk, I'll listen and I'll try to understand. At a group or meeting, they generally say, "Thank you for sharing. That must be so difficult. If anyone here can support, please do." And supportive check-in. So I've been thinking about you. Do you want to tell me what you needed then or what you need now?
Honestly, simply saying things like that sucks can be enough for me. I don't want you to fix me. I just want you to know that I'm struggling and frustrated. I've had people say things, well, at least you're not dying of cancer. I've had people compare my situation to someone else's bad day and say, well, at least that didn't happen to you. This is not helpful at all. You are dismissing my experience and battle. That is why I think simply saying that sucks works well enough for me.
Hmm. Advocating for yourself is exhausting and brave. Having to speak up for your own care is hard. Medical professionals can sometimes make you feel like you don't know your own body, but you do. Often better than anyone else. When I went in, with my pain in my left side and mentioned my previous DBT, I insisted they check again. If I hadn't, they might have never looked. And that moment of insisting felt uncomfortable and confrontational, but it was necessary. You know your body best. Trusting your instincts isn't stubbornness, it's self knowledge. So if something feels wrong, keep pushing until someone listens. Say clearly what you won't leave until they rule it out. That persistence can save you from being dismissed. Advocacy, creativity, and community help you heal. Advocacy means speaking up for your needs. Creativity means finding ways to communicate that you're feeling when words fall short. Community means finding people who believe you and will stand with you. Together, these things turn isolation into support and fear into action. A reminder for listeners, your emotional response is valid. You deserve care. When someone tells their story, meet them with patience, curiosity, and belief. Small acts, listening, asking what they need, offering to accompany them to appointments make a real difference.
I found that keeping track of my mood has been so helpful. I've been pushing now to get a permanent psychiatrist because I think it's important. I need to have an expert to talk to about my bipolar disorder, and the fact that I don't have one makes absolutely no sense. I can't just keep riding out the waves of bipolar. I need to actually talk to my doctor about it. You can't battle in silence and hope that things will miraculously get better. Ask questions, talk about how you're feeling, and get the results that you need.
I have a message of hope and solidarity. I see you. We see you. What you are carrying, the fear, the pain, the uncertainty, is real and heavy. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. Those feelings are valid and deserve attention. You're not alone. Even when care feels impersonal or answers are missing, there are people who believe you, who will listen, and who will stand with you. Your experience matters and your voice matters. Hold on to small acts of care, keeping a routine, asking for help, resting when you need to. These are not signs of weakness, but resilience. Each small step is meaningful and worth honoring. Lean on community and advocacy. So speak up for yourself. Reach out to others who've been through similar struggles and accept support when it's offered. Together, advocacy and connection make the burden lighter. There is hope. Medicine, understanding, and compassion evolve. New answers and better support can come. And in the meantime, your courage to keep going is so powerful. You deserve care, compassion, and clear answers. I'm with you in spirit. We are with you in spirit. Steady, believing, and hopeful for brighter days ahead. If you've gotten devastating news, we see you, and you're allowed to feel everything.
Thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to our experience with receiving the altering medical news and our frustrations that came with it. We hope that you feel seen and heard. We hope that you will keep advocating for yourself and know that you are not alone on this journey. We are here with you.
We're always here with you guys. Thanks.
Bye.